Welcome back to another session from Pro Tools Expert, and we got a podcast question that said, could I show some of the tricks that are used in Usher's Climax track? So there's a few things in there. First thing is the drum part, of course, which is actually, some were asking, is it an 808? Actually, it's not an 808, it's the baby version of the 808, which was the TR-606, which was the Dramatics. And the good news is that even if you haven't got one, you can use structure free that comes with Pro Tools, and you can download, if you're a member of the blog, the 606 dance kit, which is that drum machine sound. And it's pretty straightforward. Just download it and drag it and drop it in. Then I've got it on here, just doing some drum parts. So the first thing is get the sound. And the way they're getting those snares is, what you need to do, the quickest way to do it, if you're not going to play it in, and it's going to be hard for you to play it in because we are talking about 32s and 32 seconds on it and stuff like that. Very, very fast beats coming in here as you see them. So if I play you this part here, in fact, there's an extra kick in there. I'm just going to delete that out. The quickest way to do it is just grab them and double click them like that. If I play you that. And the quickest way then, as I say, is to put them in is literally just to go to your grid here and choose your grid, and you want to be 32 notes. If you zoom in then, you'll see here, I come across here, these very fast snare rolls here, just there. They're just in there. Let's just lose structure again. And let's put those in. And as you can hear, the snare is different to the snare on a 808. Much tighter. So there we go, so that's structure. And then what I've done as well is I added the compressor limiter in. I've used the kick thump setting and then pushed the gain up even harder. That's really giving us some, there's the original. It's really pushing through that kick and giving us some nice energy there. So there's your drum part. The next thing is that lovely synth part, which is, let's play that. Now what I've done so far is you can actually put those in step time if you wish, which is literally just play the chords one by one, and you go to event operations, step, and it's just 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just choose the synth, and then just play the chords one by one, and it will just drop them in. If you've not seen me use step time before, it's pretty straightforward. You literally just go there, and then you just play the notes. It doesn't have to be running. That's the cool thing about this. So if I show you from here and delete those guys out, and we need to find the notes first. Let's disable it for a second. So if you can't play like that, this is why it's cool. You click enable now and we just play it in. So listen to that. And then what we can then do as well is you can see it here on this. Let's just come into here. Let's play that again. Let's just choose the right one. Let's choose the synth. Turn that one off and show us the synth, which is here. There it is. Now you can see that these guys are actually quite low in velocity, so we want to pick those up and just push them up again. Of course, what you can also hear then is the final thing is the synth, this synth. So let me show you the sounds I'm using. For expand, I'm using the source stack. And then as you could see, there's the settings for it. The cutoff's quite way down. But there's the second thing I do as well. I'm using vintage synth. And the vintage synth on this, let me play it you. Again, solo it. What you do is you can push, actually it's just mute that again. Put the cutoff back on. When it comes to the vintage filter, you just get a much warmer sound. And the filter's built in to expand. And then the fatness. Just gives you that extra depth of sound. The final one then is we have expand again, and the sound you want is polysynth source stack, and we're getting this sound in. Now when you open source stack, it will have on it a delay. We don't want delay for this sound. The sound, if you listen to it on the track, is not a delay, it's a reverb. So what you do is you switch on your whole reverb here and do some sending from here, this FX send there. Now, interesting, this time we are going to use another vintage filter on it, but this time we're going to use the high pass. Normally we use a low pass 24. You want to move this up to high pass, and now and lose some of the bottom end. Put the whole track together and you get this. Now, the other thing to remember as well is this synth part, I've actually played it in again with step time, because you've got those. There's some 32s there. There's really fast ones. As you can see, they're very fast there, and to play them in would be quite difficult. And actually they are 32s, some of them, they're not 16s at all. So there we go. Now what you can also do then, and you can hear it in the track, is there are parts of this track where this synth really comes down and then really comes back up again. And if we then, of course, you've seen me do this before, we can get this vintage filter here, and we can add the cutoff as a lane for using for automation. Then if you wanted to, in parts of the track, you can literally draw in the ramps. It's tending to go downwards rather than upwards though, so what I tend to do is say is just drawing like that, and you get this kind of. And if you get your hand tool, you can then just adjust that. Go the other way and bring some energy back in. So there we are, some production tricks for the sounds and some of the ideas that you're hearing in the Usher track Climax. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.